let's go. Another episode of the POV is rolling. Yep, third episode, and we have a guest, and he has finally arrived after maybe an hour. Joking. Didn't take that long, but he was quite late.
Decline.
As we wait for that guy who's having his phone on.
What up? It's me, your boy B. Welcome to another episode of the POV, where no one is wrong. It depends on the point where you are standing. We have our guest today. It is Usakile Mdlalose, and he go by the name Aman. Hamba nabo, cheers. Introduce yourself, my man.
My name is Sakile Mdlalose. I go by the name of Cheese. Everybody knows.
Why cheese? Why cheese? So where does the name cheese come from?
I think it was from when I was young. I used to play soccer, you know.
You still play soccer?
I still play soccer, but so there was this guy in the Santa.
Okay.
Bambiza Cheese Boy.
Oh,
Yeah, so I used to play like that guy, you know.
Cheers.
When I played like that guy, that's what Bambiza Cheese Boy. So that's where it came from. And when the ladies ask, why make this a cheese? I just give them another explanation. Because they understand the so I just explain another way. They're just saying I'm too cheesy.
Accept. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know.
Which is the ghost? Okay, yeah. Again, let us just welcome you in this episode of the POV, where no one is ever wrong. It depends on the point of view where you are standing at. And formally, this is Z, this is B, and of course, you've already heard from the man himself. This is Cheese. This is the POV. I always say, we drink while we talk while we eat. There are no table manners at all, and no one is expecting good English. We don't owe anyone good English. Your point of view is your point of view. No one is ever wrong. We already said. Today, we invited Usakile Cheese because he's a student at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, and we thought of a topic to discuss about B and I, and we thought, what about this thing of distance learning? He's also doing distance learning, just that with a few classes that he attends, other than Usakile. So we're just talking about the issue of distance learning. What is your take in the whole issue of distance learning? Is it working? Is it efficient? Is it doing what it was intended to do, even though it was started, abruptly because of the whole situation that we find ourselves in? So, Pudi, how do you think the distance learning is doing?
No, I think to me, it's working for me. I must say it's working for me rather than going to campus to attend. Because I'm doing media studies in drama, so it needs a lot of practicals at school.
Okay.
So I spend a lot of time with my practicals. So I'm practicals that will take 4 hours. I'm 6.
Excellent. Okay.
So is it going to training or going to gym or something? I'm cancelled from campus. So for me, it's working because I'm okay scale. I'm scale from 8 to 1. I'm done by 2. I go to soccer training by 3.
Okay, so when you're saying it's working, does that mean it's working for now or for the future? Is it also gonna help you in the future? Make sure you might find it hard. We might find it easy for you to pass and so on, but only to find that in terms of acquiring the skill and so on. Uzoba inkinga yabo uzothothi manje awusakwazi.
Speak as much English as you can, but when I'm editing, I don't need to put subtitles. What's wrong with this guy? He's Zuluing here.
No, but anyways, okay, let's get in there. Ngizama ukuthi mhlambe you find it now difficult for you to do some things. You get what I'm saying? Because you've mentioned that you do a lot of practicals, meaning that your career require more of a skill more than putting in theory and stuff. Yeah. So does that mean it benefits you now or?
It starts from the talent. You must have the talent to
Exactly.
Okay.
and
That's
stand in front of the camera every day,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
So what I'm saying is, kukhona kumina ngaphakathi kukhona. It lives
okay.
inside me.
Well, it is your point of view at the end of the day.
Yeah, it lives inside me. Whether I do the practical or not, but it's inside me. You can tell me now, it's okay, but you are this guy now from this movie. Please act out, and I should.
Oh, okay.
So, but for other people, it can be a problem. Now, I mean, at a later stage, it goes by game because I'm just gonna have the information in night because we're not allowed to watch amanyama video abanye abantu. We just send le video ngizobengiyenzile for that kind of monologue. Bese i-lecture iyangitshela ukuthi okay lungisa 1 2 kuphelele lapho. Akekho umuntu engimbukayo ukuthi okay lo I think
Speak as much English as you can.
I think
I'm just worried about
it's
my
much
subtitles.
it's much better if Law he or she changes his voice to act this out, or if enza kanje it's correct. So angifundi kumuntu mina, I'm just a person owenza lento solo. So I won't have that much information at a later stage. But
Okay.
for now it's working for me because
Let's say you were the now your POV is going to be not only for yourself but
Okay.
for the Department of Education. Now you're the Minister of Education,
Yes.
and you are supposed to give a detailed report as to, do you find this thing of distance learning efficient or not? Should we just cancel the whole syllabus or the whole academic year, or should we implement the distance learning?
I think for that I would make it optional. For me, I'd make it optional. I would say, okay, a number of students have to be on campus because there's a number of people that get direction and stuff, So I would think, okay, there must be, because most of our abaning by the time that we're gonna stay at home and funda online.
Okay.
So what I would say, the ones who want to go back to campus can go optional, but give out a number of, let's say 600,000 students
Okay.
on campus. Best and get the rest are staying at home. It's optional.
Well, it's not optional if you are limiting people.
Yes,
eh?
because now
No,
You
even
can't-
like
you can't
we
tell
have
them.
we have to limit the number.
in
the
what
rules.
manner, because it's optional now.
If it's optional,
It's
that's who will
100%.
let us just say
Yeah.
100% of the students should
Want
go
Back to campus.
back to campus. I think you're on the gray, you're on the line, you do not want to decide. You are the minister now, you want to decide. Look at the situation that we are facing. Distance learning, is it the norm, or do we cancel it all, the whole syllabus? And then you are saying a percentage.
Based on the issues I've heard online,
Yeah.
I would think I would say students should go back to campus because we're not from the same places, towns, villages, and stuff.
Yeah,
So we're from different places.
And face different situations.
Yeah, which is
A person from town you can never compare to a person from a
From the rural
village.
areas. Yeah.
Space-wise, indawo emsarroundile, and even network-wise and everything.
Yeah, to
You
be
can
quite
hear
honest-
with a village, telecom doesn't even work. But in town, he has all the networks. In a Kabubo, there's Wi-Fi and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
So do you think-
so I think, it can be fair, but everybody back to campus.
Okay.
Route one.
Let me just say this. Okay, let's say you're still the president. Let's say you're the president,
okay.
and you were told about the whole pandemic. Maybe, okay, from now on, let's say we've cancelled the syllabus, and you are told that you're going to come back in 2023. So from now until 2023, what can you have in order to at least make sure that this thing of e-learning is working sufficiently like UNISA? Because yes, UNISA, we have to say that it is working because they've had more practice. So what would you do as the president?
And that will be a time.
No, well, it's your POV. Don't worry, it's your POV. You're not
But I think you mean now. I would give out students who would say, let's go back to campus.
no.
Students go back to campus.
So no. We already decided as the president. You'd said people. How does Bob Cyril say when he's going to introduce himself?
Fellow
South Africans.
Fellow South
We have
Africans.
decided that.
But also,
so
I think
when same question. You are the president. We already decided that this year is null and void. From now until 2023, what would you change in order to make sure that this thing of e-learning is the norm and it's working well?
I think I would set times as to for those who I think this thing of practicals and so on. I think it does make sense because it's quite impossible for those who does AMA practicals and so on. Because even if you can take a look to those who are complaining, most of them they just miss fun of the environment and so on. But if you can look into details to say, despite the network issues and so on, do you really need to go back to campus? Hence, you've made mention that no one was ready. No one was ready.
Yeah.
So it means everything it's now become a process. If I say this is what I put on the table, it's not like into that I would have done if I had more time, So I think for me, I would have taken a number of people to say, no, those must go to campus. Then maybe a space of few months where I've consulted.
Mr. President, Mr. President, you are not answering the question. We've decided already now that this year is null and void.
Yes.
Now we are having years in advance. Now until 2023, when we are going to open universities again.
Yes.
That means in 2021, no university will be open. 2022, no. 2023, a 2023 plan. How would you make sure now that the e-learning is working? But I see you. I think
but
if I was
the issue of you should advance the technology.
Yeah, now that is what I'm looking for.
And so on, because
and fix the network.
Yeah, I think you see this thing of data. You see this thing of data falling.
Yeah.
Guys, if data had fallen long time when we were saying data must fall, I think by the time we faced with this pandemic, guys, it wouldn't be much of a problem because everyone would have been used to the internet. We would have probably even from long time worked from home. So it's quite tricky. It's quite tricky because we've been told about this thing of fourth industrial revolution. This thing of 4IR, we were told while we were still in grade 12 studying this thing of fourth industrial revolution. The situation that we find ourselves in was just a push from the virus to make sure that we actually implement this thing of fourth industrial revolution and to be doing
this thing of data being expensive and so on. Did I ever tell you about this one story of mine where I saw a young relative of mine? He was laughing, and when he was laughing on his phone, when I look at him, he's on Twitter when Twitter was free. Man, this young one is on Twitter and he's enjoying Twitter, and at the back of my mind I'm like, I even find more difficulties to log in on Twitter, but this young one,
so yeah, it's clear. So if I was the president, I would make sure that I approach Telkom, Vodacom, Cell C, MTN,
because
reduce the data rates and make sure that each and every province is equipped enough with enough mposhongos. What is the mposhong? Enough coverage, and we right about
now. There was a lot of mula smelling outside there. I don't know, but there was mula. There was mula.
The 500
there was mula. So I think all those things would have. But anyway,
would have been solved.
Yeah, well, that is our POV. Well, I'm mostly interested in when you say it's working for you.
Yes.
It doesn't mean I hear what you've got a sibling.
Yes.
So do you think it is also working for you, this thing of distance learning? Do you think it's also working for your sibling, or it's a different case?
For her, it's not working for her.
Oh, okay. I guess we have to
she's
invite
at
her.
home. So she has to do household chores.
Oh,
she's a lady. She cooks.
Yeah.
Everything that needs work at home, she's the one responsible. I can wake up at home, clean my room. Okay, I clean my room, and then go chill with my friends. Now she doesn't have.
This would be a topic for another day.
Going back to it, now we're facing another social problem, which is
this thing of division of labor and matriarchy.
Yeah, at home, she's the one who's responsible. My mom is old now, so she needs to rest most of the time. So she's the one doing the household chores.
The donkey of the house. The donkey of the house needs to.
Yeah. So now she was supposed to go back to her campus. She was supposed to go back to her campus.
Oh, she's also on there.
But no, mom said you can't leave me alone.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, I think we should
can't
invite your
leave
mother. She must sit here.
So no, Pela, there are responsibilities, you
No,
know.
we need to sit to your mother
So-
here and ask her about
No,
what you
what's
think
it?
about it.
Around in there are a lot of students, plus Vanim Safunda, so she hears a lot of stories about going back to campus, and children
why?
rushing to campus. Maybe, yeah, you know,
No, I
she's,
understand.
she's
Well,
an
it's a
overprotective lady.
well, she's a-
For me, because I'm cheat, I mean, it wasn't a problem. I just told her they need me at school, and she said, okay, I'm gonna give you money at this particular.
My old lady, I hope you're watching.
And for the lady, for my sister, when she told me, yeah, what, you know, I need to leave, she had to explain, show some emails, prove, and the decision was no. Then I didn't have to even to prove myself. I just told her, mama, okay.
Yeah, for the interest of time, thank you, my guy, for joining us, and thank you for sharing your thoughts on distance learning. And for whoever is watching this episode, please just make sure you comment down below as to what do you think of the whole issue of distance learning, not only limiting it to distance learning, remote working if you are an employee and you've been told to work from home. Otherwise, from our side as the POV, this is the host Z and the fashion doctor B, and of course, Cheese Omandwana, Cheese Sakile. Until the next episode, we had a lot of challenges behind camera with this episode, but I'm sure now we finally figured it out. A special thanks to our assistant right behind us. We have his pizza here to eat. So with that being said, peace, keep it awesome.
I see. Since then, I yo.